Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. In this video, we're going to explore how assessment, learning resources, and instructional accommodations can make a huge difference in supporting learners with special needs. When we understand how to adjust the way we assess, the materials we use, and the way we teach, we open the door for every learner to succeed. Just a quick reminder, this video is for educational purposes only. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. Alright, let's dive in. Now, before we jump into the full discussion, let me share our objectives for this session. First, we will identify the differentiated assessment that are responsive to the needs and strengths of diverse learners. Second, we will discuss the implementation of relevant and responsive learning programs to suit the learner's needs. And third, we will illustrate appropriate teaching strategies and instructional accommodations that are inclusive to diverse learners through role play or simply simulation. Alright, let's keep going. Let us begin with learning resources. These are digital or non-digital materials that help learners gain new knowledge. They can be used directly by students or woven naturally into lessons by teachers. The key idea is that these resources guide learning in clear and meaningful ways. Next, we also have the term instructional accommodations. So these are changes in how instruction is delivered. Take note of this. They support students without changing what they are expected to learn. These are adjustments that help make lessons more accessible for learners with special needs. So we have the first learning resource, which is the special education programs. They serve students with mental, physical, social, or emotional delays. So these programs adapt content and teaching methods so that every learner can succeed. And they are free for families and continue until age 21, with some services extending into adulthood. We also have inclusion programs, which place learners with disabilities in regular classrooms with the right support. So this model embraces the belief that all children belong together regardless of ability. It relies on collaboration among teachers, parents, and the community. Next is indigenization and contextualization. So it means connecting the curriculum to the learner's community and environment. Let's try to differentiate the two terms. The first one is we have contextualization. This enhances competencies by relating them to real experiences, while indigenization adapts content from local culture so learning becomes more relevant and familiar. Let's have a clearer example. So if we have a competency, visualize the ratio of two given numbers. Okay, so what we can do as teachers is to use easily observable examples of ratios in the community. So how can we demonstrate contextualization? So for example, one jeep, four wheels, one cariton is to two wheels, and one tricycle is to three wheels. So depending on what is most common in the community, that is how we can apply contextualization. But how can we say if it's indigenization? So for example, bringing products to the market entails using carabao carrying sacks. So for example, one carabao is to the number of sacks. So take note of this. When we talk about contextualization, we talk about the content which is adapted to the community, while indigenization means content is adapted from the community. So that is the difference between the two. Next, we also have the Alternative Learning System, or what we call ALS program. So it provides flexible learning opportunities for out of school youth and adults. It supports literacy, livelihood skills, and lifelong learning. Under RA 11-510, ALS receives education or funding to expand programs and serve more learners. ALS serves young learners who are not attending school, youth who have not completed formal education, and adults seeking better opportunities. It also supports disadvantaged groups who need alternative pathways to learning. Now, let's move on to Madrasa Alive, which focuses on Arabic language and Islamic values. So it enriches the curriculum with lessons and Quran, Hadith, and Fiqh. So this supports Muslim learners in both their cultural and academic growth. As I've mentioned earlier, the Madrasa Alive has three main subjects. The first one is the Holy Book, or they call it the Quran. The second one is the Hadith, which contains the sayings of Prophet Muhammad. And the last one is Fiqh, or also known as their jurisprudence. We also have special interest programs which offer students additional learning opportunities that match their talents. So these include journalism, arts, foreign languages, sports, science, and more. The goal is to nurture the diverse skills and passions under these special interest programs. Now, we have differentiated instruction that tailors learning to meet individual needs. So this can happen through content, process, product, or learning environment. Let's try to discuss the first one. Content differentiation uses varied materials to help learners access information. These may include audio materials, reading bodies, or small group reteaching. Next, process differentiation focuses on activities that help students understand ideas. So examples include tier tasks, interest centers, manipulatives, or adjusted time limit. Next, when we talk about product differentiation, it allows learners to show what they know in different ways. So they can create projects, perform, write, or collaborate. Rubrics and expectations match their skill levels. The learning environment also matters. Classrooms can offer quiet areas, collaborative spaces, visual supports, and routines that guide independent work. All of this helps students learn comfortably and confidently. Lastly, we have homeschooling and distance learning. When we talk about homeschooling, it integrates learning into daily life with support from trained parents or tutors. But when we talk about distance learning, it allows students to learn without being physically present in school. So both approaches expand access to education. Accommodations come in many forms. Students with visual disabilities may use audio, large print, or braille materials. So those with specific learning disabilities benefit from audiobooks or text-to-speech. Now, learners with ADHD may need frequent break or the option to write directly on the test booklet. Meanwhile, students with orthopedic impairments or physical disability may use text-to-speech tools, permit oral response. Deaf learners can access interpreters, assistive listening systems, note takers, and remote services, while difficulty in reading comprehension, if diagnosed with dyslexia, benefits from visual cues like color coding key information, digital text that provides definitions, and alternate formats like diagrams, pictures, and hands-on activities. So if a student has difficulty in mathematics, if diagnosed with dyscalculia, they will be benefited from calculators, concrete objects or manipulatives, and sheet of basic fact or basic math facts. Okay, so for those with behavioral challenges, school may provide separate testing rooms or specific seating placements. As we move forward, let us commit to creating learning spaces where every learner feels seen, supported, and empowered. Thank you for watching, and I hope this presentation helps you champion inclusion in your classrooms. See you next time. Bye bye.